People simplify this topic too much. Some people say foreign men only want submissive women. Others say Filipinas only want money or a visa. But if international relationships were really that shallow, they would not continue across decades, cultures, generations, and countries. There has to be something deeper happening psychologically, culturally, emotionally, and even biologically. Because whether people admit it or not, Filipinas continue to stand out globally in the dating world. And today, let's talk about the real reasons why. Not emotionally, not politically correct, not from fantasy, but from psychology, behavioral patterns, social trends, and uncomfortable truths people usually avoid discussing. Because the reality is, some of these relationships are genuine love stories, some are emotional, some are loneliness, and some are fantasy. And of course, some are simply two people trying to feel something missing in themselves. So, let's break it down properly. Only here at Chamber Roots and Real Talk. Stay put as we're gonna back after this introduction. So yeah, this is gonna be fun and I'm excited. Of course. It's my first ever private class tutorial. Let's go! And so, what really attracts foreign men to Filipinas? Number one, men are not only attracted to beauty. You know, one mistake people make is thinking men only care about physical appearance, and that is incomplete. Physical attraction may open the door, but emotional experience is what creates attachment. Studies in relationship psychology consistently show that men become emotionally attached through positive emotional reinforcement, meaning appreciation, admiration, affection, emotional responsiveness, feeling emotionally useful, feeling respected, feeling wanted. And this is where Filipino culture becomes important because Filipino culture is naturally emotionally expressive. Small things matter here. Did you eat? Message me when you get home. Or are you tired? Take care. You know, too many Filipinas. This is normal. But to some foreign men, especially from highly individualistic societies, these behaviors feel deeply personal and emotionally comforting. And no, this does not mean Filipinos are genetically different. This is cultural conditioning. Culture shapes relationship behavior. The Philippines is still largely family centered, emotionally expressive, and relational. So that creates a very different emotional environment compared to societies where independence and emotional distance are more normalized. And many foreign men notice that immediately, not because Filipinos are better, but because the emotional atmosphere feels different. And secondly, many foreign men are experiencing modern dating fatigue. Now, this is where the conversation becomes uncomfortable because a lot of foreign men are tired, not physically, emotionally. Modern dating culture in many countries has changed dramatically over the last 20 years. Dating apps, hookup culture, low commitment, high emotional detachment, transactional interactions, fear of vulnerability, endless options, constant comparison. Many men in Western countries now describe dating as competitive, emotionally exhausting, and psychologically draining. Especially older men, divorced men, men who feel invisible in their own societies, men who lost confidence after failed relationships, men who are financially stable but emotionally isolated. So when they come to the countries like Philippines, they experience something psychologically different: more warmth, more emotional attentiveness, more verbal affection, more nurturing behavior, more admiration. And for some men, that feels emotionally healing. But here's the important part: the emotional relief can become dangerous if it turns into dependency. Because some men are not actually falling in love with a Filipina, they are falling in love with how she makes them feel about themselves. And there's a difference, a very big difference. Alright, so let's dive to number three: the femininity factor. Now let's talk honestly. Femininity still matters in attraction. That is not sexism. This is observable human behavior across cultures. And one of reason Filipinas stand out globally is because many still express femininity openly. You know, the sweetness, the softness, affection, hospitality, emotional warmth, effort in appearance, caring behavior. And now, before people get angry, listen carefully. You know, femininity is not weakness. Filipinas are some of the strongest women you will ever meet. Many work, raise children, support families, run businesses, handle emotional pressure, and survive difficult circumstances. But strength and femininity are not opposites, and this is something many societies today are struggling to understand. Some foreign men are drawn to Filipinas because they experience a balance of strength and softness at the same time. Not perfection, not submission, balance. And psychologically, many men respond positively to that dynamic, especially if they come from environments where relationships started feeling more competitive than cooperative. And proceed to number four: biology does play a role. Now let's talk about the scientific side. Human attraction is partly social and partly biological. Men across cultures are visually stimulated, and that is normal. But long term male attachment is usually connected to emotional peace and reinforcement. So, not just physical attraction. This is why many foreign men repeatedly describe Filipinas as affectionate, emotionally expressive, attentive, caring, appreciative, and these behaviors trigger emotional bonding responses. Humans bond through repeated emotional reward patterns: affection, attention, physical closeness, emotional reassurance, feeling emotionally valued. And in many Filipino relationships, those behaviors are openly expressed more frequently. Again, this is culture, not magic, not racial superiority, culture. And for some foreign men, especially emotionally lonely ones, this becomes extremely powerful psychologically, sometimes too powerful, because emotional comfort can quickly become emotional addiction. Now, diving to the traditional Filipina fantasy. Now, we need to talk about the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to admit, because some foreign men are chasing fantasy, not reality. The fantasy of the loyal wife, the peaceful woman, the nurturing partner, the younger admirer, the emotionally devoted woman, and sometimes the Philippines becomes symbolic. Not just a country, but an emotional escape. Escape from aging, loneliness, rejection, failed marriages, emotional emptiness, loss of status, feeling unwanted. And this is why some men become deeply attached very quickly. Because psychologically, they are not only connecting to a woman, they are reconnecting to validation, to ego, to youth, to emotional reassurance. But this is where many relationships fail because eventually reality appears. The sweet Filipina also becomes jealous, also becomes opinionated, emotionally sensitive, strong minded, exhausted, human, and suddenly the fantasy cracks. Boom. Because some men wanted emotional comfort without emotional responsibility, and those are not the same thing. And why Filipinas are also attracted to foreign men. Now let's balance the conversation. Because attraction goes both ways, many Filipinas are also attracted to foreign men for psychological and social reasons. Some foreign men appear more expressive emotionally, more direct in communication, also more romantic verbally, more financially stable, more generous with affection, more open minded socially. Some Filipinos also associate with foreign men because opportunity, stability, travel, lifestyle improvement, emotional attention, and again, pretending money or lifestyle never matters is dishonest. But pretending money is the only reason is also dishonest. Human relationships are rarely that simple, especially both sides are gaining something emotionally, socially, psychologically, or financially. That is the truth. And so why this relationship sometimes fails. Now here is the reality nobody likes discussing because attraction is not compatibility. Many foreigner Filipina relationships collapse because both sides enter the relationship emotionally incomplete. Sometimes the foreign man wanted emotional control disguised as love, and sometimes the Filipina wanted security more than compatibility. Sometimes both were projecting fantasy onto each other. Then reality enters cultural misunderstandings, jealousy, financial pressure, power imbalance, different expectations, control issues, emotional immaturity, and suddenly the relationship becomes less about love and more about unmet emotional needs. This is why some relationships become toxic very fast because fantasy cannot survive real life forever. Eventually, people reveal who they truly are. So, what really attracts foreign men to Filipinas? This is not just beauty, and it's definitely not just submission. It's emotional warmth, attention, affection, femininity, admiration, the cultural behavior, emotional reassurance, biology, fantasy, loneliness, economic reality, and sometimes genuine connection. But here's the most important truth of all. The same qualities that attracts people together can also destroy the relationship when those qualities become idealized, exploited, or misunderstood. Because healthy relationships are not built on fantasy, they are built on emotional maturity, realism, mutual respect, and self awareness. And without these things, no culture, nationality, beauty, or attraction can save the relationship in the long run. And that's the real conversation people should start having. And honestly, if someone is truly serious about dating Filipinas for genuine connection and long term commitment, they should stop treating relationships like fantasy or entertainment. That's why platforms like Christian Filipina dating site exist for people looking for some serious and intentional relationships instead of casual attention and games. Because attraction may start a relationship, but maturity and compatibility are what make it last. Alright, that's it all about today's episode. Till the next time, and hopefully you learned something about this. And yeah, don't forget to like, share, and comment your suggestions. What you think about the video, suggested topics for the next episode, and help me reach 5,000 subscribers very soon. I won't make it without you guys. Thank you so much for being here until today, for supporting me and spreading the love all the time. Until the next time, bye bye and mabuhay. God bless.